least one lock in the driver's door. The rest were secured from the inside using simple bolt latches, the same kind used in apartments on bathroom and closet doors at the time. A canvas top for a personal car in northern climates was far from ideal. So many owners made hard roofs themselves from improvised materials. There were also factory versions with hardtops, installed at specialized facilities, but not for passenger comfort, rather, to prevent passengers from escaping. There were also attempts from the factory to modernize the body by replacing the canvas with a metal roof. This led to an experimental vehicle for municipal services with rear-wheel drive only. The prototype was indexed GAZ-19, but it never reached series production and remained a one-off. But apart from rough terrain, which the GAZ-69 handled quite confidently, there were also water obstacles, and those were almost impossible for it to overcome. For example, take a look at this footage showing how they tried to find a solution to this problem, so to speak, with minimal effort. Such designs never went into mass production for a number of reasons. Instead, the Army received more capable and specialized amphibious vehicles. For example, the GAZ-46, already mentioned in this video, which was based on components from the 69 model. The prototype for the amphibian was the American Ford GPA, supplied to the USSR under the Lend-Lease program. On land, the GAZ-46 could reach speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour, and on water, about 8 kilometers per hour. Production of the amphibians continued until 1961, but they were built not at the UAZ or the GAZ plants, but at the Tract Tractor Factory, simply because neither GAZ nor UAZ had sufficient production capacity available for it. After Nikita Khrushchev's visit to the plant in 1956, when he voiced the idea of creating a vehicle capable of driving where reindeer walk, another line of experiments emerged, overcoming snow obstacles. 4 experimental prototypes were built, each using a different method of traversing snow. The tracked version proved to be the most effective, but even it was not recommended for mass production, as its load-carrying capacity on snow turned out to be rather limited.
Первый – это скольжение автомобиля по снегу на лыжах и отталкивание движителями о грунт. Испытания мотосаней на снежной целине показали, что образцы, выполненные по этой схеме, имеют ограниченную проходимость по снегу. Движение мотосаней возможно только при упоре ведущих барабанов о грунт до тех пор, пока глубина снега не превышает величины максимально возможного заглубления двигателя. При большей глубине мотосани вывешиваются на лыжах, а барабаны, оторвавшись от грунта, начинают буксовать. Движение при этом прекращается. Второе направление – это скольжение по снегу и отталкивание снег. Образец с ленточным движителем, выполненный по этой схеме, показал удовлетворительную управляемость и ходовые качества по снегу любой глубины. Однако незначительная грузоподъемность мотосаней, по существу построенных на базе легкового автомобиля ГАЗ-69, не могла дать исчерпывающих данных о целесообразности повышения проходимости по снегу большегрузных автомобилей путем установки на них подобных двигателей.
Now let's move on from experiments to exports. Of course, the Kozlik was sold abroad, mostly to countries of the Eastern Bloc and other friendly nations. But there were exceptions. For example, the Gaz 69 was shipped to Iceland, which at that time was under sanctions, and other countries refused to sell new off-road vehicles there. The USSR stepped in to help, and a local dealer organized the installation of a metal roof on the Gaz 69. The result, frankly, was solid and stylish. The Icelanders were very pleased with this cooperation and later went on to import the Niva as well. In total, the Gaz 69 was exported to 56 countries around the world. Export versions carried the indexes 69M and 69AM and differed from those supplied within the USSR primarily by better build quality and more powerful engines. But some countries, like Romania and North Korea, didn't just import Gaz vehicles. They set up local assembly. The Romanian Aero M461 was a licensed version of the Gaz 69, almost indistinguishable from the original at first glance, except that its wheels looked more like those of a passenger car. They also fitted the Aero with more powerful engines, up to 80 horsepower. The production experience gained from that model was later channeled into the creation of the Aero 24, an entirely new development with little in common with the previous design. For the 1980s, it was a genuinely capable off-roader with solid potential. Meanwhile, at UAZ, they were also working on their own next-generation off-roader. Judging by the surviving prototype photos, if it had reached production, it could have found buyers in many countries, competing with both the Aero and the Niva. But, as you can guess, none of the prototypes ever made it to the assembly line. In North Korea, they produced not exactly the 69 itself, but rather a deep modernization of it, a rear-wheel drive van. By the way, you can watch a separate video about this model and other examples of North Korean automotive industry on my channel. I'll leave the link in the description. Like many Soviet vehicles, the Gaz 69 stayed on the production line for quite a long time, all the way until 1972. And this despite the fact that work on its replacement had started as early as the late 1950s. The reason why the Gaz 69 remained unchanged for so long was rather simple. The Ministry of Automotive Industry didn't have the funds to launch a new model. Besides, the main customer, the military, was perfectly satisfied with the 69. There are even stories that the new generation of UAZ appeared thanks to a real special operation. A new UAZ model, already developed to the point of being production-ready, was secretly delivered from the Ulyanovsk plant to Moscow, bypassing the ministry, and presented directly to Brezhnev himself. Leonid Brezhnev, known for his passion for cars, listened with interest and personally examined the vehicle. And within that same year, it went into mass production. Of course, the new model was superior to the 69 in many ways, above all in comfort and technical solutions. But when it comes to off-road performance, there's no clear answer as to which one is better. It's more accurate to say, both are great. There were also attempts to create a successor to the 69 model. In the year 2000 at the Moscow Motor Show, an off-roader called Gaz Combat was unveiled, styled after the classic Gaz 69. Even its index underlined that connection, the 21st century and the 69 model. Of course, this vehicle never made it to production. Despite the nostalgic warmth surrounding the Gaz 69, the new model met with a mixed reaction. And although its technical foundation was solid, a proven and reliable UAZ chassis, and an Austrian Steyr diesel under the hood, the styling raised many questions. Creating a worthy remake of a legendary vehicle is no simple task, though there are successful examples. But with the Combat, it seems the designers completely missed their target audience. The prototype looked overly plastic and was painted in toy-like colors. Those who were supposed to be drawn to it didn't really understand the message. Was it a flashy pseudo-off-roader for the city streets, or a true off-road machine? Why did it look so toy-like and fake? Its grandfather was rugged, green, and made of steel. While with the Combat, even the creators themselves seemed unsure who it was for and why it existed. On top of that, the Combat appeared during a time when the Russian auto industry was churning out one odd concept car after another, so it simply felt like yet another strange prototype. But the original GAZ 69 has stood the test of time. Even in the 21st century, even in 2025, it remains in demand and is far from cheap on the market. It still commands well-deserved respect among fans of outdoor adventures, and especially off-roading. The GAZ 69 has truly stood the test of time.